Well, let's talk more on this now with the Mineral Resources Department spokesperson, Makosonke Buthelezi, who joins us via video link. Mr. Buthelezi, good evening to you, and thank you very much for your time. A little earlier, I had the director of Makua in studio, who essentially has pushed back against your narrative that the mine rescue services that are going to start doing work in Stilfontein were actually done independently of the court action. They're saying that that is not true because, true to the word of one of your ministers, you did say much earlier that those people were not going to be helped. If anything, they were going to be smoked out. How do you respond?
Thank you, Colin. Good evening. It is not true what Makua is claiming. Talks of with efforts to retrieve the underground illegal miners started in December when we engaged with the mine owners, because remember, this shaft still has an owner, Fontaine Gold Mine. And under the Mine and Healthy Act, they still have a responsibility to make sure that even after the operations, even after they haven't, even after they've finished mining, they are still responsible for the safety of the people, whether inside or outside of the mine. So we started talking with them in December, and they couldn't budge. They pleaded that they do not have money, and they have already spent the money on sealing the shaft. So we started, it is indeed independent of the court agreement, by the way, not the order, the court agreement that we agreed on Friday.
Yeah.
So it's not true that we were forced by the court. We agreed at the court that we will make sure that we facilitate the process with the mine rescue services to see to it that we retrieve the remaining illegal miners underground.
As part of the invitation to you to this program, Mr. Buthelezi, and roundabout now, we're actually showing that footage to the viewers. There is footage, exclusive footage that we've obtained as a channel of the miners rationing the food as to the kind of food that is being served underground. And all that it is being served really is amacheu, and we can see nothing else. To your mind, is this kind of thing that is going on underground what you would have anticipated anyway, given that there has been talks of kingpins that sit underground and essentially control whatever is done or which way the food is going to go?
Well, it's sad to see those circulating videos because if you remember, the state has been taken to court by the Lawyers for Human Rights because of Operation Valumkoti, where the state had tried to curtail, to stop the food from going down in a bid, to make sure that the miners can, if illegal miners can come up and face the law. And fair enough, we had to abide with the court order to say, let the food go down because people are starving. And that has been allowed. And it was one of the agreements, by the way, on Friday, that the food should go down so that people can gain strength and be able, those who are able to come out, to come out. It is very sad what we see on the videos, and it underlines our contention. We have always maintained as the state that illegal mining is a criminal activity, and what we see happening in those videos really is evidence to what we have always been saying, because the idea of lowering the food is for those who are starving to gain strength so that they can be able to come out of the shaft number 11.
Yeah. How do you respond to the organization Makua, which says, and they use very strong language, that a massacre has taken place underground in Stilfontein, or if not a massacre, then definitely it is genocide, because they're talking hundreds of bodies. And I've said to them, we don't have evidence of that yet. Do you want to pull back on the kind of language you use? But they are certain that this massacre or genocide they talk about has been visited upon those people by the state, and they are accusing the government, including this ministry, which you belong, of starving people to death. And they're saying the reason we have seen the number of deaths we have witnessed is as a result of people starving to death. How do you respond to that?
It's difficult to respond to that because we don't know for sure if it is true, much as you have said. I mean, if you think back when this whole issue started, the numbers that were quoted were thousands, were 10,000s, and they keep dwindling. And nobody knows for sure of the numbers of the people who are underground, and even what Makua is claiming in terms of the massacres and the number of people who are said to have died. We do not know for sure. So it will be very difficult at this stage to know and respond responsibly in terms of what they are saying.
Yeah. Do you have any knowledge? I mean, you are part of the government architecture. The people, the bodies that have been pulled to the surface thus far, do we know what the cause of death might have been? Because Makua is suggesting, and very strongly so, that it is as a result of starvation.
We don't know. We don't know for sure. As I'll be lying as I'm here if I would say we have received an official report, that says this is the cause of death from the people who passed away underground. So we don't know for sure. And I'm sure maybe as time goes on, there will be an official report that will come out and either confirm or deny what Makua is claiming. So we don't know what is the cause of death at this moment.
The mine rescue services, how they've explained it to me is that a crane is going to be sent underground and it can only bring to the surface 6 people, 5 or 6 people at a time. Do we know when those actual operations are going to start?
Yes, as you see me here in this camp, actually from the site myself, they have prepared and cleared the site, and the project manager has indicated that they will start with the operations at around 7 or 8 tomorrow morning. So they will be bringing the mobile winding machine tonight so that they can resume with the operations in the morning.
So will it be the first time that we see this kind of service deployed to Stilfontein? I'm sure it will be the first time, is it not?
I wouldn't know because normally they do rescue services in operating mines. So I wouldn't know if that has been done before in operating mines, but I gather it will be the first time under these circumstances.
Yeah, well, I'm saying that based on the very visuals that the viewers are watching right now, where a rope was used by the community activists who are saying we cannot just sit back and allow people to die. So I'm saying to you, what we are watching now, is that going to be something completely different to what we are seeing, people being pulled by a rope? I think it will be for the first time that we're seeing that.
No, definitely. It's definitely going to be a completely different operation because the machine, the mobile crane, I'm told, it can reach up to 3,000 meters down, if I'm not mistaken. So the winder is going to be hoisted down, and it's true that it's going to take about 5 or 6 people at a time.
Yeah.
So yes, they'll be using this mobile crane for the rescue operations.
Security risks, how are you going to mitigate against that?
Well, there is a strong presence of the police on site. But if you ask underground security risk, there won't be any personnel. I understand there won't be any personnel that will be going down with the cage.
Okay. All right. For the time being, thank you very much for your time. Makosonke Buthelezi speaks for the Ministry of Mineral Resources. Thank you very much for your time.